application. So it will be the first of two. This is the third application round DCD and had its opening up as part of the CARES Act allocation. There remains approximately $54 million, and DCD has worked with HUD to kind of reallocate the money, prioritize it to different projects. So they're opening up for only competitive applications. Before we had a direct allocation, and we use that for business assistance grants. So I'm going through and hitting all the requirements that we need to have, everyone in the loop, as well as letting everyone know the application process and timeline. And we'll have time to discuss possible projects. So for eligible projects, they need to be eligible and fundable. So to be eligible, there is a list in your packet that includes all the projects. DCD is prioritizing public improvements in facilities, public services, housing related activities, and economic development and small business activities. Some projects that aren't eligible would be political activities, general operating expenses, maintenance activities, as well as any activities that is the general purpose of government to provide. Refundable, that's the one of the three national objectives. The first one would be low to moderate income persons, benefiting 51% of individuals of lower moderate income in the service area. This is the fundable aspect that we usually go for. The whole city is within this LMI designation, and a lot of our census tracts are. If there's an area that isn't based on ACS data from 2015, which is the most current that GCD uses, we're allowed to do surveys. And that is a door-to-door survey based on and you collect income surveys, income data. At least 70% of the city's CDBG CV funds must be used to meet this objective. Another fundable aspect would be the elimination of slumber blight. There are some requirements to meet this designation. It has to be a municipal declaration, and only a maximum of 30% can be used for this. And the last would be response to urgent need. This is or requires a formal declaration of emergency or disaster. We were allowed to use this during the coronavirus, the first round. We did not, because we were able to use, we did use urgent need, as well as mixing in some low to moderate income. As I mentioned, this application is a competitive program. We usually do not do competitive because we receive a direct allocation. We don't need to compete with anybody. We get the money basically up front, and we just have to tell DCD what we're applying for. The next step will be the second public hearing. It will be held before the next council meeting on June 20th. Same place in City Hall at 6:30 p.m. There is also a schedule in your packet of the next meetings and public comment periods, and also the application deadline, which is expected to be due in August, but the application packet has not been released yet, so I'm not sure the exact dates. Some public announcements. The Fair Housing Resolution was adopted by Council on February 7th, and also the Fair Housing Notice was published in the Express on February 18th. The notice and the resolution are posted in City Hall if anyone is looking for that information. The city has also developed an anti-displacement plan. So if we were to undertake any activities that do result in displacement, we have to follow that plan. However, the city does not intend on going forth with such activities. At the bottom of your agenda is a Section 3 preference statement. Interested individuals and businesses are invited to contact me in the City of Lock Haven Planning Department if they have any concerns or would like more information. The Section 504 annual review is part of the application and is kept on file in the Planning Department. If anyone has any concerns with accessibility related to section 504, you can again reach out to me. And that is always available for review. So does anyone have any questions about those plans, policies, or notices? So as part of every application, we have to do a community development plan. This explains how we're going about this process, what projects we funded currently in the past, would like to in the future based on the needs of our community. Just to give you a reminder, the city previously used CDBG, CV funding to provide grants to local businesses. We were able to help 17 businesses, I believe, and they were of varying amounts. All of those businesses have proved their expenses and are actually closed out their grants. So that went rather smoothly and that helped a lot of businesses during the pandemic. The Clinton County Housing Coalition completed a housing rehabilitation project with their returning citizens program. The East Water Street paving project was complete, and we are moving forward with the Piper Harmon playground project pretty soon. And the Ross Library is also taking steps toward their roof rehabilitation. Last year, we funded the second phase of East Bald Eagle and Ray Street paving, as well as Taggart Park improvements in 2021 year. So at this time, I'd like to give anyone present the opportunity to comment or ask questions on any projects that were previously funded with CDBG funds or CD funds. At this time, I'd like to give anyone present. I'm sorry.
Steve wants to ask.
Only on the timetable, or without talking about that now, do you have another place that you want to set? June 11th is a Saturday and June 25th is a Saturday, but you have listed as Mondays on the timeline. So this one.
Is that the public comment? Is that end of?
Yeah, but it's listed Monday, June 11th, but it's actually a Saturday.
Yeah.
And the 25th is a Saturday too.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
So will the dates change or just the day?
Just the day of the week. The
Okay.
date is correct.
Okay.
At this time, I'd like to give anyone present the opportunity to propose projects for funding consideration. You all have the eligibility list in front of you. If you have any projects that may have been brought up to you, or I also have two on the staff list that we have taken comment on and also got them from the Director of Public Works. But I'll give all you the opportunity first.
Where's that at? I can't find that.
Just, I believe it's the second or third page that is the eligible projects. I don't know. Any of you
The
had,
ones from staff, you said.
oh, I'm sorry, I just have them. We have the Irwin Street, there's a sanitary sewer line that we repaired, rehabilitated. There's also a line on Susquehanna Avenue, sanitary sewer line as well. We will look at both of those projects. We'll most likely submit for just one. And depending on eligibility and fundability, as well as cost estimates, we will submit either one. For anyone listening, the public comment period, I'll be accepting comments for 5 days after this meeting. If you have any projects that you would like to see considered for this application, please send them in writing to Lock Haven City Hall, 20 East Church Street. And we will document those and take them under consideration. At this time, does anyone have any concerns with any projects with potential for historical or environmental impacts associated with projects under consideration? So that would be the Irwin Street as well as Susquehanna Avenue. Any further questions that we didn't go over? All right. Then with no further comments, I'll close the public hearing. The next public hearing will be June 20th, Monday at 6:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Abby.
No,
Oh, hang on.
the dams are not eligible.